So welcome to this week's Goddess Guidance. It is the 13th of August, 2024. Um, we're still in Leo season, and I think it's like 5, 6 planets in retrograde. So we're just gonna cruise on through, you know. Just remember that certain planets, when they go retrograde, like the outer planets, Jupiter-ish, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, those planets there. It's a collective thing. So we're all going through it together in different ways, obviously. And then the personal planets like Mercury and Venus, Jupiter as well. Those are like more kind of inner planets, especially Mercury and Venus, and Mars. Forgot about that one. But one thing that has changed my perspective on things and has brought me a lot of peace in my life, and more flow and trust in my relationship to the divine is that regardless of what the collective is doing, feeling, or what others may say about planets in retrograde, what to expect, and so forth, always define your own truth in those realms. Tap into how you want to move through that season or that retrograde and take ownership, right, of your life. Exercise your abilities to step into self-leadership and to set an intention, because I notice that although we have the awareness of what this particular planet may represent and what retrograde in that particular sign of that planet may present us, we also, with free will, right, and being in co-creation with the divine, have the opportunity to also say, okay, I know that this is what's going to happen. I can prepare myself in this way, but also here's how I would like to utilize this energy, right? Being able to step into that place of power and assert your power and your free will, your creativity, and say, okay, so, Mercury is retrograde in Virgo, right? And yes, it can lead to technical difficulties and traffic and yada, yada, yada. But you can say and set an intention that during this season, while I'm driving or any type of transportation I'm in is safe, I will always arrive in divine timing. And with it being in Virgo, very mercurial, very cerebral, you can say, I also allow this time to serve me in finding more, organizing my thoughts, or giving me the time to really meditate and contemplate things, see maybe a different perspective, or be able to shift my thinking in ways that allow me to know what my next steps are and to have more clarity in my thought processes. Or like Venus is in something. Venus is in Leo or Cancer or something like that in retrograde. So with that being said, it's like, okay, well, I would like to use this opportunity to heal my emotions, heal maybe Venus representing, love, abundance, prosperity, maybe a little fame as well, but fortune. If it's in the sign of Leo, like maybe this is a good opportunity for me to be able to reflect on ways I can up my self-worth, right? To learn to embrace my regality, be able to embrace my sovereignty, be able to let go of whatever may be blocking me from shining my brightest. Or I don't know if Venus is in Cancer, maybe, but if it is, then you can say, I'm also going to utilize this time of Venus being in Cancer to heal my emotions to my mother wound, or to tap more into the essence of the divine feminine or Mother Earth, and learn to nurture myself and be the mother that I wish I had, for the younger version, my inner child, and so forth, and being able to step forward in that version of me so that I can be my best self, and also, heal any parts of me that needed that loving, tender care, and be able to tend to those areas. So, like I said, even though there's a lot of stuff going on around us, um, I always, like I said, take the opportunity to to know what's happening celestially and then be able to spin it in my favor. Okay, so like I said, a lot going on out there cosmically and earthside, but just taking the opportunity to step into your power can be a great practice to help you step more into a space of confidence, co-creation, and yeah, sovereignty, because that's what we're here for, right? So let's see, 31, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Ooh, got it. Hey, I'm good. Okay. So this week's Goddess Guidance. I love when this happens. This week's Goddess Guidance, speaking of, right? Abundance, prosperity. The universe is pouring its abundance out to you. So be open to receiving. And I love that because we were just talking about Venus energy and owning this retrograde season. So this is a good opportunity to, if you're, into following cosmology and things like that, seeing what planets are in what sign and what that retrograde can represent for you, defining that for yourself so that you can inherit more of your divine abundance, step into that space of prosperity so that you can even grow. Because, we've got on the southern hemisphere, it's winter, right? And we're here in summer. But at the same time, even that polarity might seem a little retrograde-ish, just because the season is completely different in another place. But there's a reason, a season, a cycle, a rhythm for everything. So being able to take advantage of this season, this retrograde season, the cycles that are happening around us as well as within us, can really help you to define what prosperity looks like for yourself and to be able to be fortunate enough to have that wisdom and that free will, that creativity, that inspiration to define what this season will bring for you in the realms of prosperity and abundance. All right, I was hoping that little tangent was going to go somewhere. Let's see here. It just came out. I wasn't really sure. That'd be freestyling, channeling. It just makes sense sometimes. So, Abundantia is a beautiful Roman and Norse goddess of prosperity, success, and abundance who is said to bring good fortune and financial windfalls to all who call upon her. She carries a cornucopia of gold coins, as you can see, which trail behind her wherever she goes. So one sign that she's with you is that you'll find lots of spare change in unlikely locations. And rest assured that Abundantia brings more than just pocket money to those who call upon her. She bestows all kinds of prosperity, including increased amounts of time, ideas, and other forms of support. So with that being said, let's get this party started. And so as you take some nice deep breaths, allowing yourself just to gently land in this moment, either bringing your gaze softly to a spot in front of you, or if accessible, allowing your eyes closed. Taking a moment to just notice your breath. And to take off any energies that you've had to put on or wear today, any hats you've had to wear today, the problems you've had to solve today, the roles, the performances you had to lead in today, just taking a moment to set all that aside. Setting aside any ruminating thoughts, setting aside any uncertainty, any stress, any worries, Anything that's been on the mind, just allowing yourself to put that to the side. Acknowledging how you're feeling, putting that to the side as well. Just coming into a stillness, place where you can just be. You can always pick up those thoughts, those feelings later if you choose. But the choice is up to you. You always have a choice. So I invite you in this moment to bring forth that part of you that is smart and intelligent, that's creative, that's well resourced, connected, magical, knows how to make things happen. Bring forth that part of you that has manifested things in her life, has experienced synchronicities, pleasure, joy, happiness, fun, feeling seen and heard, bringing forth your strength, your ability to listen and to feel, to soften, to rest. The part of you that's intuitive and wise, just allow that part of you to step forth. However you feel most powerful. Whenever you feel your most powerful self. Maybe it's at the gym. Maybe it's in the meditation. Maybe it's at work. Maybe it's when you problem solve. Maybe it's in your connection to the divine. Maybe it's when you share genuine care, or a good deed, act of kindness to a stranger. However you feel most powerful, bring that part of you forward. Notice where she shows up in your body. Notice how it feels to be tapped in, tuned in to her presence. Notice how she shows up. Is it quickly? How strong is her presence? How soft is her presence? She slowly aroused as she comes forth. Taking a moment to allow her to become fully embodied in this moment. Welcoming her, saying hello. Thank you for being here. And just taking a nice deep breath. Anchoring her presence into your body as you breathe in and up into the crown of your head. Exhale, allowing her presence to anchor down into the hips, down to the legs, into the soles of your feet, and allowing her presence to anchor all the way down into the center of the earth, into a beautiful crystalline core within the center of the earth. Allowing her presence to grow deep and wide. Maybe playing around with what the center of the earth looks like for you today. Maybe it's a treasure trove, gold and silver, diamonds, gemstones, pearls, rubies, sapphires, emeralds. Maybe it roots down into that feeling of opulence, elegance, luxury, pleasure, stability, resources. Maybe the center of the earth looks like a crystal geode, amethyst, rose quartz, crystal quartz, whatever serves you. Maybe it's a bed of roses, whatever your favorite flower is. Maybe it just looks like a wild, free paradise. Give yourself permission to just play and be imaginative. Create the space that you would like to root down into. Whatever makes you feel like a queen, a goddess, sorceress, magi. Whatever allows you to feel divine, exquisite. Give yourself permission to play. Have some fun with this imagery. And know that the center of the earth can be as big as you would like for it to be. Maybe it's a whole golden empire. Maybe you see yourself at the head of a table, beautiful spread laid out in front of you. Candles, roses, all kinds of fun and shiny objects. Maybe you see yourself lounging in a chaise or a daybed, feelings of velvet, silk, satin upon your skin. Maybe you smell the fresh cut flowers and roses, tulips. Maybe you hear the crackling, the candle flame. Maybe you're in a delightful bath, coconut milk and rose petals, herbs. What's the center of the earth look like for you today? Have some fun with it. You deserve this nice little break. Allow your imagination to run wild. What do you see? How does it feel to be there? How would you posture and orient yourself in this space? What are the fragrances and scents? Maybe the frankincense and myrrh wafting through the air. What are the tastes upon your tongue? Wine, champagne, fruit. What is the sensations upon your skin? What are the beautiful sounds that you may hear? Taking a
You
nice
know what I'm
deep,
saying?
nice deep breath. You feel yourself relaxing, slowing down for just a moment. Taking a little rest and reprieve, letting everything else go. Allowing your awareness to stretch and expand to the far edges of whatever room that you're in. Creating some space for yourself, taking a moment to own this space, to presence yourself. Notice that feeling of worthiness, feeling regal, significant, feeling doted on, adored, waited on, tended to. Just taking a moment to notice what it would feel like to have a community around you that serves you. They are there to meet your needs. You are blessed by the Most High, favored. Feel that sense of gratitude for all that you have received, all that you have accomplished, all that you had to work for to get to this space. You're grateful for the bountiful blessings that have been bestowed upon you. There's an inner yes. I did it. I made it. Finally here. And there's that soft and subtle pride because you knew you could do it. You may have moments of doubt. There's always a part of you that knew you had the potential within you. This potential comes from the deepest yearning, your desires, your dreams. They have been the seeds to call you into your purpose, what's been aligned for you. It's been chosen for you by the Most High. You've become so powerful And yet you're still so gracious, proud but humble, evolved and ascended, yet down to earth, grounded and embodied. You're balanced. And those all around you are here to support your growing power. They want you to lead. They love your leadership abilities, your character, your fairness, all the traits and qualities that you possess, your kindness, your wisdom, your beauty, all admired and inspiring those around you. And you recognize that you didn't get here by yourself. You were able, through your charm, your diplomacy, your power, your wisdom, your intuition, honoring your most authentic self, that you and this community around you act as a team. You know how to give and how to receive, and therefore prosperity is being poured onto you. You have everything you need to handle all that is being given to you. You have the intelligence, the discernment to know what is for you and what is not. You have the creativity to problem solve. You have the imagination to be innovative, to lead. Because of this, unforeseen windfalls and blessings naturally come to you. Second nature. You've positioned yourself to be so in the flow, so open, so receptive. It's just the way of life for you. Because of this, you set an example for others. You're open to new ideas, feelings, vision. You trust in yourself. You know which ones to follow, which ones to save for later, what thoughts and feelings to discard. They no longer serve you. Because you are clear and authentic in who you are, clear direction about the action steps needed to produce and bear more fruit. You have clear direction and what seeds to plant for your next harvest, your next season, how to cultivate the space, how to till the soil so that it's fertile. And as you receive this clarity, this insight, this direction, the community around you gathers to assist you. They enjoy being with you and around you. Share laughter and joy and happiness. Your presence is well received. And in turn, this allows you to receive divine assistance, guidance, protection. You know that there's nothing to worry about. You are well connected. You have an expansive network, people that love and support you, people that look out for you and protect you. You are well resourced. Notice what it feels like to be in this state of abundance. You have more than enough. You can invite others to the table to eat with you because you have more than enough. You can give away clothing and share your resources. You can give unto others without giving of yourself because you have more than enough. You can share your creativity when needed, your advice, your wisdom, because there's more than enough. There's plenty of more where that came from. You are the source of that. You have more than enough to give. And that is a reflection of who you are. More than enough. Taking a moment just to feel that in your body. It's okay to feel good. Feel this pleasure. To just have this experience. Open, receptive, spacious. No worries, no doubt. All your needs taken care of and tended to swiftly. Prayers, intentions heard and answered quickly. You don't even have to think about how it's going to happen. You just say the word and it happens. You're that well connected, that well resourced, that powerful. Feels good, doesn't it? Take a moment to just sit in this energy. Just be here. Nothing to be ashamed of, no guilt. Just feels good, fun, playful. Breathing in, breathing out. Slow, relaxed, and steady. Enjoy this feeling. Enjoy this moment. Enjoy this visual. Maybe you have so much resonance with this feeling, this visual. It feels as if you've lived it before. And maybe you have. What if this feeling, this visual, who you are in this opulent, abundant state, is a remembrance of your soul? Maybe you've been there before. You've actually lived that life before. Wouldn't that be a fun idea? What if you call this part of you forward more often? What if when you lay to rest in the evening, you came back to this visual, feeling yourself resting in a beautiful canopy bed, this huge room that you take up space in, dimly lit candles, velvet duvet, satin sheets, smell of lavender, jasmine, and roses. What if every once in a while throughout your day you just pretended or remembered this part of you and called her forward? What if you just acted as if? What if you brought forth this part of you more often? How would that change your reality, your perception of yourself, your relationships, how you move in the world? How would this part of you act, behave, make decisions, respond to the things going on in your life now? What would she say? What guidance does she have to offer? Insight, clarity? How would she take the lead? She offer any next steps, bringing you closer to your dreams, your desires, your fulfillment, your needs? How would she handle certain situations? anything that may be troubling you, anything that may feel influenced by lack or shame or isolation. How would she respond to that? Knowing how well resourced she is, how powerful she is, how loved and cherished she is. What is her wisdom? What is her guidance? Just taking a moment to listen, or to see, to feel, to sense, to know. What is something that you may need right now? What would her advice be? How can you utilize her presence to resolve, to create, to sustain, to hold, to be? How would she respond or not? Maybe she reclaims her power by walking away, disregarding the little stuff. She's not wavering in her worth. She knows her value. She stands on that. She holds that space within her and all around her. Her community holds that space. Her community protects her, serves her, guides her, shares with her, supports her. She has structures in place to handle any and all situations. She's prepared. She doesn't want or worry for anything. She knows who she is. She knows what she brings to the table. She knows her power, her strength. She doesn't take it for granted. She honors it. She loves it. She's grateful for it. She was blessed with it. And she upholds that gracefully, her crown held high, poised with dignity, morals, and integrity. She's a woman of high value, quality in her character. Woman that you may be visualizing. That's you. Can't produce something that's not already within you. But you can produce that feeling, that visual. because it's within you. She is you. Wise, abundant, graceful, moral, intuitive, powerful, creative, and imaginative. She has presence that's undeniable. And so I invite you to carry her with you. Allow her to lead. Allow her to step forward when needed. Allow her presence to penetrate every cell of your body so that she is fully embodied and infuse her essence into every part of who you are, overshadowing any parts of you that feels less than or disempowered, lost, confused, uncertain, scared. Allow her to take the lead. And not from a place of denial, those aspects of yourself, but from a place of power, saying, I see you, I've got you. Parts of you that are confused or scared, uncertain, doesn't feel safe. She's got you. Trust in her wisdom, trust in her guidance. Allow her to rule your inner queendom. Taking a nice deep breath in, slow, steady exhale. Inhaling up and into your crown. Once again, exhaling, rooting down to the hips, legs, feet. Just coming back into this moment. Slowly bringing some movement to your toes, your fingers, bringing some organic movement to your body. And maybe giving yourself a hug, giving that part of you that showed up in all her mighty glory and power. It's as if you're giving her a hug by holding yourself, hugging yourself. When you're ready, gently opening your eyes. All right. Might have to run that one back. I like that. I'm gonna have to gonna have to yeah, I have to run that one back. I'm like, oh, I like this. All right. Let's see. Collective message. So our imagination can be twofold. Um, we can use our imagination to ponder or envision like worst case scenario. Of course, that's never fun. That's never fun. And sometimes it doesn't even happen, right? So, um, and then we can also use our imagination for experiments and exercises like this meditation, where it takes us to spaces and places and the roads less traveled through our daily mental activities. And I invite you to use your imagination more, but in ways that are productive, in ways that might be like little fights of fancy or flights of fancy, right? Because in doing so, you may not realize it, but just to get a little nerdy, as let me back up. When we use our imagination to think of the worst case scenario, right? I got to practice this myself. I was just talking about this to somebody earlier. And it creates a sense of fear, worry, anxiety, um, the negative self-talk, the self-doubt and all those old yucky stories about who we are. It's really just a structural thing within our brain. There is a part of our brain, within the middle part, the limbic system, there's a structure called the amygdala. And what that does, this middle structure of our brain and these particular parts, um, rule our emotions and the stories that we have structured, the meanings that we have structured around these feelings. And so it doesn't really mean that it's true. It just means this is a trauma response of how our brain decided we were going to make this make sense. Okay. And so what happens is, based on fear and survival, we tend to use our imagination in these old stories, right? And we use our imagination in ways that don't really serve us and don't feel good to our bodies. And when it doesn't feel good to our bodies, we don't give ourselves or our bodies access to possibilities, right? Because we've configured this whole uh, program that's running based off an experience we had in the past that didn't feel good. And then with the information we had, no matter what age we were, we created these stories around these feelings. And then we said, that's it. Okay, that's got to be it. But like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean it's true. This is all just physiology. It's really just science. And so when we give ourselves permission to use our imagination, we displace ourselves from those old stories. And we give ourselves permission to mentally rest, right? Because we're not operating this old configuration that keeps us in survival mode and looking out for the worst case scenario. We end up activating another part of ourselves that allows us to detach from that, right? When we use our imagination for something positive. And what happens is structurally within the brain, your brain starts, it's called like entrainment, okay? It's like mind hacking. People talk about mind hacking or entrainment. And what we end up doing is we start to teach our brain how to step into other possibilities. when certain things present themselves. And this is how we start to reconfigure ourselves to get out of that shame, that lack, that fear, that self-doubt, that low self-worth, that self-sabotage, because we start to use our imagination. Our brain takes note of how we're using it. Okay. And when it does that, next thing you know, the brain is like, oh, well, you know what? When this happens, I have another option of how I can respond. I can respond from this, but that doesn't feel good. And so now I have this other option. I can respond in this way. And this feels a lot better. And then because it feels better to the body as well, every nerve cell in your body is like, yeah, we like this one better too. Okay, let's run this program more often. And so now you start to reconfigure not only your thinking, but your actual physiology through your nervous system, through the power of your mind and your emotional state. Okay, your emotional intelligence. And so when you do that, you now, through science, like I said, through shifting your mental perspective of things, through activating your the pleasure centers and the reward centers of your brain, since that new configuration has been I guess supported, then what happens is the rest of your body starts to support that as well. And this is how you reconfigure who you are and not just have breakthroughs, right? Where you're like, oh, I can take one step forward and then two steps back. But this is actually how you literally create a visceral change within your body that feels natural. It feels organic. It's sustainable because now this is a new state of being for you. So the collective message, I'll let y'all know I'm proud of myself. I did this meditation. The collective message is remember your power and your imagination and the choice that you have and how you utilize that. Okay. And the more you practice that, the stronger, the more powerful that becomes. And the more easily it is to access that, and then the more easily it will become to sustain that. Okay. And now you're Jewel 2.0, Maya 2.0, Kelly 2.0, Gabriella 2.0, Yami 2.0. You're naturally a better version of yourself without having to try so hard, without having to put so much effort into it. It becomes natural for you. Okay. So, and that is your abundant nature. You have possibilities, you have options, you have choices, okay, that help you to outgrow and to prosper. So, all righty, that's tonight's meditation. Let me stop the recording.